So these are my chain adjusters that I made, designed and manufactured here in Florida. These are only for the 2025 Ducati V2, both Panigale and Street Fighter. They have the same swing arm, same axle, all that stuff. But they won't fit any of the previous models, obviously, because they have a single-sided swing arm. These may fit other models with a standard swing arm, but I'm not really sure. What I can guarantee is that they'll fit the 2025 V2 Panigale and Street Fighter. They come in black and clear anodize. The adjusters are stainless steel, just like the OEM. And then if you're wondering what these two little screws are for, these are kind of optional. You don't have to use these, but if you want to take it a step further and make your caliper bracket captive, then you would have to drill and tap a couple of holes, or at least one, but there's two here if you want for extra security. You'll have to drill and tap holes in your caliper bracket, so you'll need a M3 by 0.5 tap, and I will include the screws, which are the right length to be able to do that. I did it on my bike just to make sure that it works. Again, you don't have to, it's just an optional thing. If you do want to take it a step further and make your caliper bracket captive so it doesn't fall off whenever you take the wheel off, this will be a big improvement with wheel changes if you're like doing endurance racing, or if you just want to make the process easier of taking out your wheel for changing out tires at the track or whatnot. But yeah. Alright, here we are with my 2025 Street Fighter. Ducati made it kind of nice on these bikes that the chain adjusters and the axle nuts are the same on both sides, so you can pull the axle out from either side. I'm just gonna demonstrate the right side right here. This takes a 30mm socket. I've already loosened mine, obviously. You'll need a wrench for that to get it off, or an impact. And then the chain adjuster comes off. Don't lose the little washer here. You will reuse this. And now you can just push the axle in. You can do a couple of things here. You can either take it off completely, take the wheel off completely, and that way you have plenty of room to work with, and do both sides and then just assemble everything. Or you can just do it one side at a time if you want. It's really up to you. There's not really a right and wrong. For this you need a 12mm wrench. Loosen that up, and then you will remove the adjuster screw completely. The installation's pretty easy, but it does take a little bit of time, and the main reason for that is because of all this threading that you have to do. The stock ones are long, have a lot of threads, and my adjusters are also very similar in length, so you'll be doing a lot of threading and unthreading. You'll also notice there's two threaded holes in there. So I did that on my bike just to show the concept of making the caliper bracket captive. So you use the screws that will be included in there. One thing that's important to note is if you do use both, you will reduce the amount of adjustment for your axle position that you have, because this screw will then contact this back of the swing arm here. So you lose about I don't know, about 5-6 millimeters or so. So if you don't want to do that, you can just use the front only. I mean, technically, yes, this will limit the front movement as well, but once you're already here, it's already kind of too far in. You know, you're probably never going to really get to the end of the swing arm here, or of the slot, just because of the shape of your adjuster block. It's the same with the OEM. You know, you're really never going to get quite to this end. So what I'm probably going to do for mine is I'm just going to use this hole only, and that should still work to keep it in place. But anyway, so let's go ahead and put the adjuster in with the block. You just kind of slide it in there and line it up. Get a couple of threads engaged, and then it's just a matter of threading it in all the way until it gets to the position that you need it to go. If you do it one side at a time, it'll probably make alignment easier because the other side is already fixed, so I know I just need to line it up with that one. If the axle slides through, then I know my chain tension is going to be good. If you take everything apart and you do them both and then you reassemble everything, you'll just need to adjust your chain tension, which is not really a big deal. But yeah, so pretty much just like so. And now I'm going to try and put this screw in, but I can't really do this one-handed, so I'm gonna take a quick break here from the phone. Alright, the screw is in. I do recommend using some Loctite on the end of it, and you don't want to over tighten it. You just want to make sure you use that Loctite, put it in about hand tight, and then you let the Loctite dry up, and it'll hold it in place. Plus the screw is not going to come out because it's being held in place by the washer and the axle nut. But you want to make sure that it's not too tight to where the adjuster can't slide, because obviously when you adjust your chain tension, you're going to need this to slide back and forth. So you don't want to tighten it too much to where you prevent that from happening. So with that done, I'm just gonna push the axle back in, put your washer back on, and then the axle nut. Now, of course, you want to verify your chain tension and verify that these are at the same point, front to back, on both sides. When you do install both of them, they have marks here, actually on both sides, but you'll want to look at the bottom ones. You can use those just as reference marks, combined with the marks that that Ducati provides on the swing arm. So you can use that for alignment. And now all you have to do is tighten, torque down your axle nut, and then you're done. You can also, if you want, take the OEM nut off the OEM adjuster and use it here just as a jam nut, but you really don't have to do that. You can always jam this up against the chain adjuster block, and that will essentially do the same thing. But if you want extra peace of mind, you can take this nut off and reuse it as a jam nut. It may restrict your axle travel forward if for some reason you put a smaller chain on or a much bigger rear sprocket and your axle has to move forward a bunch. But there's plenty of adjustability. I don't think that will really be an issue in most cases. but that's just another optional thing that you can do. So that's it. Thanks for watching.